Hey guys, back today with another Love Dare. This is day 32. Love meets sexual needs. 1 Corinthians 7:3 says the husband must fulfill his duty to his wife, and likewise also the wife to her husband. In marriage, romance is meant to thrive and vibrantly flourish. Both the Old and New Testaments commend the beauty of sexual love within the context of matrimony. The Song of Solomon, for example, though frequently misunderstood as nothing more than an allegory about God's passion for his people, is also a beautiful love story. It describes sexual acts between a husband and wife in beautiful poetic detail, showing us how each spouse can passionately love and cherish the other in their romantic relationship. In some of his other writings, Solomon said, "Let your fountain be blessed, and rejoice with the wife of your youth. As a loving deer and a graceful doe, let her breast satisfy you at all times, and always be enraptured with her love." That's Proverbs 5:18 and 19. Words like these, blessed, rejoice, satisfy, enrapture, vividly remind us that sexual intimacy is one of God's greatest wedding gifts, to be fully enjoyed on a consistent basis as husband and wife. It is all part of celebrating what God has so graciously given to us in each other, the purity of being naked and unashamed, Genesis 2:25, within the covenant of our lifelong commitment. Through the pleasure of physical intimacy, we experience a strengthening of our relational, emotional, and spiritual intimacy as well. Faithful love transitions into overwhelming joy, resulting in a deep, abiding peace that no other sexual relationship outside of marriage can ever produce. As part of our married union, sex has no cost, no guilt, and no regrets. This is why God approves of only one sexual relationship, one man and one woman who are married to one another, and why he's placed around it such loving, protective boundaries by proclaiming that marriage is to be held in honor among all, and the marriage bed is to be undefiled, Hebrews 13:4. God provides us with the only way to protect our moral purity, 1 Corinthians 7:1 and 2, protect our bodies physically, 1 Corinthians 6:18, honor our spouse faithfully, Exodus 20:14, and keep our sexual experiences glorifying to him, 1 Corinthians 6:19. He is not limiting our enjoyment, but protecting it and us. But we are weak, affected by our past, deceived by our culture, tempted by unholy desires. Some Christians secretly view sex in their marriages as dirty or shameful. Some are haunted and weighed down by memories of immorality and adultery in their past. Some have given in to the destructive undertow of pornography, fueling their lusts with man-made sinful alternatives to the pure, unpolluted, replenishing experience God designed our sexual oneness to be. As a result, many husbands and wives have grown distant from each other, allowing staleness to set in, pushing each other away, withholding something precious that rightly and exclusively belongs to their spouse. God established marriage with a one flesh mentality, Genesis 2:24. The wife does not have authority over her own body, but the husband does. And likewise, also the husband does not have authority over his own body, but the wife does, 1 Corinthians 7:4. You are one and belong to each other. You are the sole person on the face of the earth called and designated by God to meet your spouse's sexual needs. So stop depriving one another. The Bible warns, except by agreement for a time, so that you may devote yourselves to prayer and come together again, so that Satan will not tempt you because of your lack of self-control, 1 Corinthians 7:5. If your spouse comes knocking and requesting physical intimacy, your love should open the door and welcome them in. Sex, or the withholding of it, is not to be used as a weapon or bargaining chip. The heart of marriage is one of giving ourselves to each other to meet the other's needs. You've been bought with a price, 1 Corinthians 6:20. God set his affections on you and has gone to every length to draw you into desiring him. Now it's your turn to pay the loving price to win the heart of your mate. Sex is one God-given opportunity to practice what the love dare entails. But in reality, it's even more than that. The greatest celebration of all time will occur when those who know and love Jesus Christ enter heaven to be with Him forever. It'll be the consummation of our covenant of salvation, when the bride of Christ, the church, will finally be with her beloved bridegroom. Ephesians 5:21 through 32. Though heaven is not described as being sexual, God gives us a small taste of heavenly joy through the regular physical consummation of the covenant between a husband and a wife. The temporary joy we feel during sexual climax should cause us to worship God with hope and anticipation of the greater and purer joys that will forever be ours in heaven. So each time you consummate your sacred relationship as husband and wife, remember that your union is a celebration of your marital intimacy, the grand finale of your mutual love. Even more importantly, it is for the beautiful glory of your holy God. Worship Him with your oneness for what He's done and for the eternal joy that's soon to come. So today's dare is this: if at all possible, try to initiate sex with your husband or wife today. Do this in a way that honors what your spouse has told you or implied to you about what they need from you sexually. Ask God to make this enjoyable for both of you, as well as a path to greater intimacy. Yeah, this is a big deal, guys. And we live in a sex-crazed culture, and if you're, my age, then you understand there's so much stuff that comes with it. Most of us, including myself, made the mistake of getting into sex before marriage, and there's definitely a price to pay for that. My constant prayer with my wife is that God would sanctify my spirit, soul, and body in the area of sex, so that I would realize it is a holy thing, that God's even present. Thoughts like that can get creepy if you've got the wrong idea about sex, and it's just this dirty, sinful act, which is what our world, kind of promotes. In the Christian context, we're always feeling kind of weird and creepy about it. But before the Lord, in a marriage consecrated by God, it is a holy act. It is an act of worship. And in the metaphor of us being the bride of Christ, is there sex in heaven? No, it doesn't say so, but there is worship. And so the holiness there and the beauty of it is really an important thing for us to have sanctified. So just make that a prayer of your life. God, sanctify this act. May it be a healthy thing that we do often and enjoy, and may it be an act that is a part of sanctification of both our marriage and our marriage to you. And so this is a couple thoughts there, but very important. Love dare, healthy marriages have healthy sex, and we all ought to be praying for God to do a work of renewal in our lives, in separating us from the thoughts that our culture kind of presses on us and pushes on us over sex. So let God have it. It's His. May it be a blessing and do all that He desires it to do, both in our marriages and in our relationship with Him. So God bless you guys. Praying for you. Try to get back with you on the next Love Dare quick. And so we'll see you then. Bye-bye.